The new M2 MacBook lineup is really confusing. First, let's go over the pros and cons of both MacBooks. The new M2 MacBook Pro has the original chassis. The M2 MacBook Pro also has a fan in it. The fan allows for longer, intensive workloads. Love it or hate it, the M2 MacBook Pro still has the touch bar. If you know how to use the touch bar, it can be really useful. But sometimes people just like normal keys better. The new M2 MacBook Pro still retains the same 20 hours of battery life as the M1 MacBook Pro. Now, let's move on to the pros of the M2 MacBook Air. The MacBook Air has the newer chassis that is used on the upgraded versions of the MacBook Pro. The MacBook Air also has a 1080p camera for doing video conferences and recording. The MacBook Air screen also supports 1 billion colors. Although the MacBook Air only has 18 hours of battery life, it also comes with a super fast charging block that can charge 50% of its battery in only 30 minutes. And this charging line is MagSafe, which allows for 2 extra USB-C ports to use for an external monitor. So now comes why you shouldn't buy the M2 MacBook Air. If you upgrade the base specifications of the M2 MacBook Air to meet the base specifications of the M2 MacBook Pro, they're exactly the same price. And now you might be wondering, why is the M2 MacBook Pro better? The reason why the M2 MacBook Pro is better is because it has a fan. If you don't have a fan on your computer, your performance will throttle after about 30 minutes of doing semi-intensive workloads. The wedge shape might be outdated, but it allows the keyboard to be tilted towards you, which allows for better and more fluid typing. Some YouTubers have also said that the M2 MacBook Air has better short time performance. What they mean by this is that the M2 MacBook Air is better than the M2 MacBook Pro in performance before the M2 MacBook Pro turns on its fan. I think this is completely ridiculous because there are free apps like Max Fan Control that allows you to put your fan on full blast anytime you want. In conclusion, if you value cosmetics over performance, pick the M2 MacBook Air. But if you value performance over cosmetic, pick the M2 MacBook Pro. Let me know which one you're gonna buy. Leave it in the comments. Subscribe!